Good Saturday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, alive and in color from Capitan, New Mexico. On a nice morning, hey Google, what's the temperature?
In Capitan, it's currently 58 degrees.
58 with a high of 78, which is not bad. But anyway, hey Google, tell us a joke.
The right eye said to the left eye, "Between you and me, something smells."
Big deal, huh? But anyway, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Make it a good one. It's the day after yesterday, day before tomorrow. It is right now. So if there's anything you want to do, I suggest you get busy doing it because time is passing, guys. I'm telling you, it's already July the 2s. So anyway, never worry about what you cannot change. And that's a lot, believe it or not. For the nooner today, I did a video the other day. I'll post it today on the progress Levi has made on his mountaintop camp. Levi's camp progress at noon, live and in color. This person's name, let's see, what else we got here? That's all we got. Well, I've been living in an RV a long time. Everybody knows that. This is a Class C motorhome. I am in Capitan, New Mexico, which is just south of, is it south? North of Ruidoso, about 25 miles. And a pretty nice place to live, about 6,600 feet in elevation, round numbers. And on we go. Let's see what the old positive energy button's got for us today.
Growth is the only evidence of life. Mistakes are proof that you are trying.
Well, I guess I must be really growing. Anyway, what else? Plain air on neighborhood living stuff. Says we love the sound of coyotes at night in the eastern Sierras. Yeah, the coyotes are nice. You know, if you ever go out to Big Bend, though, out in the desert there on the Terlingua Ranch, I mean, they'll come. I lived for about, I don't know, a year and a half or so, whatever it was, about 50 yards from a coyote den. You know, they dig holes in the ground and live underground. And boy, did I get a dose of, I got tired of hearing them. Lulu 59, rock on, Rusty. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Yep, coming up in a couple of days, isn't it? Monday, actually. This is on the solitude stuff. M. Fletcher. In my experience, based on the fact they stopped and cleaned up their mess when you told them, I think these boys come from pretty good homes. If you know where they live, I bet all it would take would be for you to see them walk past their home. Yeah, no, I think that deal. I hope that's pretty well a done deal. That they were fairly respectful. I mean, they didn't go nuts, and they realized they'd made a mistake, and it was just one of those things. Kids do stuff like that just on the spur of the moment, and not all of them, but some of them. And anyway, James Ortiz. Unfortunate. I suggested the idea of putting a pantry there. Friends and I donated foodstuffs. Good feeling when less fortunate said they were grateful to have it. Yeah, yeah, it's a nice deal. I don't see many people using it, but it's at least it's there. So it's the thought, I think. Moose Knuckle on the neighborhood stuff, folks. This could be a subliminal message from Rusty that he's probably thinking about selling his property where he's now residing. Residing. No, no, I'm not thinking about that. Milby 522. Since they appear to be good kids, I would try to befriend them. No, I'm not going to do that either. Offer them to come over and drink a soda water. No, I think that'd be a mistake. But that's you could do that with kids in your area. Ray Sprague, living where we do near Carson City and Virginia City, Nevada, and other destinations that all put on Class A fireworks shows. We have neighbors who are in direct competition with their own aerial displays that rattle our windows and walls with their mortars. This occurs every 4th of July and New Year's days before and after. Well, that's good. He says he doesn't need to drive anywhere to see fireworks. That's good. Glenda Milner Phillips. I put up signs from Lowe's that say warning security cameras in use. I also got a sign from Amazon and put it next to my door that says smile, you're on camera. Yeah, and those things probably help. We'll see, but No, but I think it's taking care of itself. I hope. Thank you, Glenda. Avalon Mist. Now that's an excellent idea. Well, thank you, Avalon Mist. Dave Leach. No sound, Rusty. If you catch the video just as soon as it's posted, sometimes it takes a minute or two for them to have the sound available. This is on Beer 30. Alvin Massot says, fantastic video. Thank you. Dave Leach says, I hear you now. Yeah, it takes a couple of minutes. Yeah, if you're the very first one or two, sometimes you may not get sound or picture or who knows. Mimi is me. I made it 3 minutes late. Hello, everyone. Definitely a six-packer evening. Whatever. Anyway, this is Levi Brewer says, Bud 30. Anyway, Jose Flores, thumbs up to you. This is Hudson 51. Looks like a good life. Yeah, on Beer 30. Yeah, it's okay. It's my life. I mean, whether it's good or not is up to me. I have to make it one way or another. This is on the neighborhood stuff. Tanner says, next time run outside and fire a couple of shots in the air. That'll put an end to it. Well, I don't think you want to be discharging a weapon in the city limits without cause. No, I wouldn't want to do that, but you could if you wanted to. Anyway, Hudson 51 says, had one of those machines. Whatever that was, something I said, I guess. Joe Frugal, 14 minutes here. I see Rusty wearing glasses. I know I'm going to laugh. Well, I don't know. Those stories those things bring back a lot of memories to me. Riding that old Cushman Eagle and that old Quonset hut. Hey, Google, what's a Quonset hut?
According to Wikipedia, a Quonset hut is a lightweight prefabricated structure of corrugated galvanized steel having a semi-cylindrical cross-section. The design was developed in the United States, based on the Nissen hut introduced by the British during World War I. Hundreds of thousands were produced during World War II in military.
Don't ask her what time it is. She'll tell you how to build a watch. But anyway, Nomad Jack says, coffee 30 for me. Cheers from the Philippines. Hey, Google, what time is it in Manila, Philippines?
The time in Manila, Philippines, is 8:20 p.m.
Yeah, that's nearly a 12-hour difference, 11 hours. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Nomad Jack. Joe Frugal says, ice cold cheers. I went home, checked something charging that should have been done, decided to get 2 beers, fell asleep, woke up, slept so well I thought it was Saturday. Nope, it was just a real good sleep. Well, good for you. I'm glad sleeping good is a good sign of being contented. W. Thurman, sounds like you grew up just like me. There was a man who lived with us that couldn't talk. His family threw him out. He lived with us for years. We were his family. We milked a cow, churned butter, ate out of the garden. Those were good times. Yeah, they were. It was there was always something to do, and that was just to survive. Susan Standard, I can tell by that hair you were a hippie in your younger years. Well, I never was. I grew my hair long. I'll say that. I did do that, and my parents certainly didn't like that. But as far as being a hippie, no, I never did drugs or stuff and went to big parties. For hours and hours and hours. No, I never did any of that stuff. And I was. It may be just in the sense that I thought everybody ought to be allowed to do what they chose, within limits. But anyway, thank you, Susan. Joe Frugal again. What does it look like I'm doing, man? Something IDK if that was brave, stupid, or both. I don't. I know it was stupid. How about that? Ira Pickard. I sure love to hear your old stories. Yeah, there's a lot of things we did out there on that old farm. This is Mary Cooper. Beer 30. Best beer 30 ever, still laughing. You lit me up like a Christmas tree talking about taking Doris home on your Cushman. Yeah, every time I thought about that after I did the video. She was, well, I'll give you a little more to that story. Again, I won't mention names too much. But, Kennedy was a small farming agricultural town in South Texas. And this was in the 50s, okay, 55 to 60 in that range. Well, anyway, this girl, uh, she grew up on a farm, of course, and she had a brother, and but her father was a little, you know what I mean. And anyway, he tried to fool around with her or something. Anyway, something happened. But anyway, he committed suicide. I'm not too sure he committed suicide. I think his suicide was committed for him. But they found him in an old storage building, and he'd been dead for a while. He supposedly used the carbon monoxide stuff. But anyway, it kind of messed up her life the way he did her, you know, and always. But she was really pretty, man, and yeah, that was a those were some interesting times. You know, that was a typical small town life. Anyway, Snowy Bells 12. Howdy, Rusty. Have a great weekend. Love to hear your stories and sharing it. Take care always. Yeah, don't worry, I will. Yeah, you know, here's one here. Whenever you see these ones with Cyrillic and whatever kind of crap in it, don't click on any of that stuff. Let me report that one. I'll give that one to Matilda. It's just spam. Okay, let me get that done, and then we got to turn it over there, and there. That should get it out of there. Okay, that did it. All right. Anyway, Matilda thanks you, whoever it is. I can't even read it. That's in the Cyrillic or something. But anyway, yeah, she'll have some spam and eggs. How about that? Yeah, thank you, Matilda says. Anyway, Snowy Bells 12. Howdy, Rusty. Have a great weekend. Love to hear your stories and sharing it. Take care always. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's hard to. I know there's a million memories, and here's Tommy Rant's RV, and apparently he somehow donated $9.99. He says that was an outstanding beer 30, Rusty. Wonderful memories, all great stories. Thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know how he does that. You know, it's a yellow sign there with 9.99 on it, and I guess it's a new way to get money on the channel. You know, YouTube takes care of their creators. I promise you. Uh, you know, they give you every opportunity in the world. They help you every way in the world to make money because that's how they make money. Jerry Eddy, I think you can get fairly inexpensive remote cameras that will work well for you. Yeah, you can. You can get cameras fairly inexpensively. That's true. Joe's Frugal says, "Here's to you, here's to me." Yeah, you got it. Cheers and all that stuff. WTBM 123. Cool, cool. Nomad Jack. Hello, Nomad Jack. Reminds me of what was his name? Wolfman Jack. Remember that guy? When you were talking about the separate cemeteries for whites and Mexicans, it reminds me of a time my mother took us to an A&W root beer stand. My mom waited to order drinks till the lady told her she had to order from the front counter, that the side window was only for Hispanics. It was something I never forgot. Well, you know, guys, those are just different times, you know that. But just remember now, that's in the past. That's not now. Okay, now is where you live. You don't live in the past. Some people may. I don't. Captain Trips, great stories, Rusty. I enjoy your enthusiasm. You're quite welcome, Captain Trips. This is T. Marie. Great stories. Yeah, it was just go walk down memory lane. Y'all have heard them before, probably, and you'll probably hear them again. You know, there's just a few stories that stand out in my mind. You know, when I was a kid, you know, there's got to be hundreds of them. And anyway, Al Fur says, "Cool Sanity Talk Beer 30." Thank you, Al Fur. And then we get to Sean Gallahoo. Hello, Sean Gallahoo. Thumbs up to you. And then Let's Make It Bacon said, I was working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. today, replacing the roof of my RV, making some videos about it. You can't imagine how much this sanity session hit the spot today. Thanks a ton, Rusty. Well, enjoy your evening. Let's Make It Bacon. William Crawford, on the neighborhood stuff, he says, leave them alone or it will turn into entertainment for them. They have a lot of free time. No, that I agree with that. No, I think the best thing to do is nothing. No, and unless it escalates to another level, and then I will do what's necessary as we move along. But right now, I think it just went like that. Sam Higgins, kids today just can't understand the 50s and 60s. Life was so simple. 13, when I got my first scooter, a Cushman Highlander. Yeah, they made, Cushman's made some, and then Allstate made some that they sold in a Sears catalog, but those were two cycle, and you had to mix the oil with the gas. Mine was a four cycle, and you had gasoline tank, and then you changed the oil. Much easier, I thought. Tom Gardner says, I knew there were some great scooter stories. I had my own Freedom machine at age 13, and I don't have to tell my stories. Thanks for sharing. More? I don't know. We may come up with something. Kevin Arnold, Rusty, you're a good guy. I enjoy your posts. Well, thank you, Kevin. I'm glad you do. Makes me feel good. This is Kevin Arnold again. Keep being yourself. Yeah, I think somebody put that underneath there. It says, I do me, you do you. Wayne Johnson says X-rated tonight. Well, actually, it wasn't. I was talking about rolling cigarettes. You got to, the ones without gum papers, you got to lick them and then stick the paper on there, if you got what I mean. PDT, great childhood, Rusty. Brought a smile to my face. Thanks. It was the way it was. It was just a small town Texas country life. And and I lived a totally different life from the young people that grew up in town. Totally different. I was by myself most of the time, had to create my own forms of entertainment, and that's kind of the way I grew up, and I've just followed that mode all the way through it now. I still don't mind being alone for extended periods of time. Some people have a problem with that. Anyway, Lori Roar, listen to red flags and your base instincts. Best way to go, in my opinion. That's on the tiny home thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did. We're not doing it. Listen to my wallet. Mike says, howdy, old Dowd man. Keep doing you. I do me also. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Any decision you make is yours. No answering to anyone. I'd spank those children if they come back and want more of it. Well, you do you. I mean, I think you may be starting a fire there. Anyway, Texas lady, thumbs up. Happy 4th of July weekend, Rusty. Same to you, Texas lady, and all of you Rangers out there. Cal Bob 750 says Andreas may have been buried in a Catholic cemetery. Back in the day, there were separate cemeteries for Protestants and Catholics. There was a lot of separatism. There still is. The world hadn't changed much, and and that's just the way it is. It's not bad or good. It's just the way it is. And people discriminate all the time. You go to the grocery store and you pick Heinz ketchup over another brand of ketchup. Well, that's discriminating against that brand. Or you pick something as opposed to something else. Life, by definition, is discriminatory. Danny Antrim, I laughed so hard at the story of you giving the girl a ride home on the motor scooter. Thanks for sharing that. It made my day. Boy, it made my day too, I'm telling you. I mean, it really did. It just really, I was a new man from that point forward. They couldn't slap the smile off my face. Well, I had to go right down from the swimming pool to go to her place. You had to go right through downtown Kennedy, Texas, by the little stores and stuff. And everybody's watching us. And I thought, anyway, enough said. Greg Prince says, have a great fourth weekend, Rusty. Great stories, good beer. Yep, gotcha. CB Vet on the neighborhood stuff. Hey, Rusty, did you buy back the property or are you mooch docking? I bought it back in March. Where you been, boy? James Ortiz. It says some black folks were buried outside the cemetery fence. I surveyed it for the city so they could build a fence for them. I asked the neighbor lady why people were acting so weird, and she said the cemetery was haunted. Well, I don't know. People do things. Haunted just means you don't understand it. That's all that means. And superstitions are just based on things that happen that we can't explain with words. And so that's basically what religion is. It's a form of superstition, just in my opinion, because every religion, I don't know how many around the world. There's probably 2 or 3 large dominating religions, and if you look at the common denominator, it's basically based on fear. Susan Gill, I was hoping to hear if you got your sensor lights and cameras Did that property used to have a real long chain link fence? Yeah, it had a couple of gates and stuff, but I took the gates down to make it easy to get in and out. Sashi Smith, pretty drive and share. Seems funny what boys of that age will do for fun. Some girls too. Your plan is a good idea before it escalates. Yeah, I think we're moving along in the right direction. I got plenty of time to think. Hilton McLaurin Fine Art. Rusty, how long can you pause a video on your Pixel? On my Android, after a few minutes, pause the video app stops the video. It's not very long. I'd say maybe 15 or 20 seconds. Whatever, you can set, uh, whatever your screen on off is, because that's what's happening is the timer is based on that screen on off. So if you turn that to forever, then you might be able to pause it for quite some time. Charlie World ? Harrow. Definition of harrow. Harrow. A cultivating tool with a set of spikes, teeth, or discs. Yeah, it's used primarily for breaking up and smoothing the soil. Yeah, that's it, a harrow. I couldn't think of the word yesterday. Thank you, Charlie World. We'll do, oh hell, I'm already over time already. I'll do two more. Glenn McNeely, cool video. So whatever became of Doris? Well, she got married and went off and lived her life. Have a great weekend, sir. Tom Fowler, Love Beer 30. Thank you, Rusty, for taking us down memory lane. And that, ladies and gentlemen, with that in mind, thumbs up. Carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because it doesn't cost you one penny. Just click on the link, go to Amazon, buy whatever you choose. Then drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it'll also help you lose weight because you'll be full of water and you will not want to eat so much as in snack. And the only way to lose weight and keep it off, and you know it and I know it, eat less. That's it. No other tricks. And then what else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in really deep. Hold it for a few seconds and then breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Oh, this shirt says que sera, sera. Relieving stress lowers your blood pressure. That's what it does. Do it several times a day. And then what else? Stretch. Swivel. Walk. Pedal. Exercise your body once or twice a day, every single day. Why? Because you'll feel better immediately, and you may live longer, healthier because of that one thing. And then what else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Do not let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. This is your head, your brain, your frontal lobes, your consciousness. All those little neurons in there are forming neural links, which is every single thought you have. So common sense says, add good ingredients, problem solved, right? Right, except for one thing. Don't watch the news. That's your choice. I recommend you don't do it. Why? Because it's all negative, exaggerations, and sometimes just out and out lies, just to work on your emotions, to get you to watch that channel's news. But anyway, having said that, you do you, I do me. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, enjoy your life one day or one moment at a time. At ease, carry on, adios, bye-bye, hasta luego, vaya con Dios, aloha until the noon video, which will be Levi's Camp. Adios, amigos, bye-bye.